Sinister STRAWMAN, a 2025 Spirit Halloween animatronic, which is a reskin of Mr. Dark. Not that STRAWMAN, this STRAWMAN. STRAWMAN, a 2022 Spirit Halloween animatronic. He is absolutely amazing. I love SVI animatronics, especially when they have servos. SVI never failed to make a good animatronic. This year, for example, Crypt Countess, she's amazing too, and I just love SVI and every animatronic they manufacture. His quality is amazing, minus his audio, even though it kind of sounds like it's off a flip phone, like those tiny flip phones you can get. But he is still overall amazing. He does also have a problem with his neck, where he keeps turning his head up and keeps looking at his shoulder, which is kind of strange, but I'm sure I can get that fixed. He's an amazing animatronic. I will say that again, and I'll say it for the third time. He is an amazing animatronic. Truly one of the best animatronics I've seen in a while. I know I'm pure glazing an old animatronic, but you can't blame me down to his quality, his look, and his overall voice, minus the audio quality, but his voice in general is really, really good. Hello guys, it's your favourite plague doctor, the Hooded Plague, coming at you with an unboxing of STRAWMAN from SVI. Sold in Spirit Halloween, but his box is not the Spirit Halloween box, which is a bit disappointing, but honestly I love SVI's art design. As I've said in a previous video I just posted about unboxing the Haunted Manor Archway, but here is the box in all its glory. STRAWMAN, life-sized animated decor. Animated servo head, as I'll show you, there's his head, torso sway side to side, light up eyes and moving mouth, creepy phrases with motion sensor activation for 14 and up. There's his face again on the box. I really love the art design. I keep saying that because I'm a very repetitive person, as you know from watching my video and watching this video in general, but here I am cutting open the box. So let's open it up and take a look inside. So the first thing we see is his arms, a box where his head is in, a lot of foam, and a bit of the base, as you can see on the side right there. Yeah, so let's get digging. Here I first took out his head, which is inside the box. We'll open that later. I'll take out an arm. This arm's very detailed, a lot of scarecrow design lookingness about it. Don't really know what to say. That's his hand. Here's his other hand. These hands are quite big and thick plastic, so they will not bend, break, or any of the such. But here's a second hand, looks the same as first. Here's some foam legging cover. They don't come attached to the poles which go on the legs, as most SVI animatronics don't. So here's two. Here is his clothing. That's his hat, his robe, not his robe, his rope, and his shirt, his pants, and his neck ruffle. So here I attempted to get out the base, but it was stuck, so I had to get out something else. Here's his body, his main mechanism, his control box, etc. Here is the adapter, just in that box. It was actually quite a big box for an adapter. Here is his shoulder piece and his chest like formation. Here's a shoe. They're the exact same, so it doesn't matter which side you put them on. The shoe is very shiny. Here's both of them out. Here's what I've got out so far. And finally the base, and I almost forgot about that little black piece in the box there. So I'm going to set the base down. Here's that little black piece I was talking about. This is for his head to attach it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Here's an overview of all the parts, starting with the arms, the instructions, the first arm, the other arm, the instructions, the leg foam tubings, the head in the box I'll open later, the clothing, so here is the adapter, the shoulder and the chest formation, the main mechanism with his control box, etc., everything, the two shoes, and that piece I almost forgot about, which is the head holder piece. Here's the base with the poles attached to the base with zip ties inside a bag, and here is the box for the head. Now let's get a drum roll for opening this. It's going to be quite a long drum roll, honestly, because I do take ages to get this out of the box. So here's the head. Are we ready to see the head? 3, 2, 1. And here it is. Look at that head. Those eyes are quite cool, and I love how they're stitching, almost holding his mouth shut. It reminds me of Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus, but here's his head out of the box. Quite cool. So here's the instructions. That's all the pieces you need. I've already went over that. And let's start beginning. Let's cut off these poles from the base so we can get them out and snap lock them in. So we have to cut on both sides. They're quite tough. We call them zip ties. So here are the poles. These were just wrapped up in a plastic bag. They were not actually in it. No, they were wrapped up in plastic. They weren't even in a bag at all. So let's just get rid of that. So first step, click in the poles on each side just by snap locking them in. They are called pole B and the base is pole A. There, that's the first one done. On the second one, same thing. Snap lock it in. And you should hear a click and you will see the little button stick out as so. So here's the next piece. You get poles D and you snap them on there. You just press down, snap lock again. Repetitive, I know. Same on the other side. I won't keep you guys waiting. I'll speed up repetitive parts like this. So here's the two legs done. All we need now is the foam tubing. Also, I did forget to put on the shoes in this filming, but afterwards I go back and take off these poles and correct myself. That's why I should have been paying attention to the instructions, but I didn't. So here's one leg foam piece on, and then here is the other sliding on. There it is. So here's the two legs built with the foam. Here's the clothing. I start opening it to get out the hats. Look at that hat there. And then we get out the next piece, his first head obviously. Then we've got the neck ruffle. We've got his shirts, quite cool. And we've got his pants. Right here, final, last but not least, his pants. I like how it has straw attached to the ends to make him look like a real scarecrow. So here I go back stupidly and fix my mistakes of forgetting the shoes. There we go. I quickly fixed my mistake. There we go. Does not look great. So the next thing we do, like I was meant to do before I messed up, is slide on the pants. So I'm just trying to get the leg hole so I can slide it over. Just bear with me. It's physically impossible to record me getting that on because I don't have 4 arms, but here it is on. Look at that, that's amazing. Now all I have to do is attach the main mechanism. We're pretty much done already. All we have to do is attach on his arms, etc. This is a very simple build. It was a bit hard getting these two to snap lock on at the same time. This one actually didn't go all the way through, as you can see. The snap lock wasn't working, but the other one did, and he was still sturdy enough without that one working properly. So here is his adapter. I'm just going to get it out of the box really quickly and attach it to his back just to get that step over and done with. So that's the adapter plugged in. I have to untwist that twist tie. So here's it untwisted, and I moved his position to put him towards the wall. So now all I have to do is put on his shirts. And I do forget another step which is coming up. I forget to put on his neck ruffle before I put on his head and his arms. And the shoulder piece, I also forgot to put that on, but it doesn't really matter. It was a simple fix. Again, I should have been paying attention to the instructions. So here's me sliding up his arm. I couldn't really record it. Again, I don't have 4 arms, but I did get that in. That's it snapped in, and that's his arm looking glorious. Now for the other arm, same procedure, slide it on up as so, and then click it in. That's both arms standing tall and clicked in. So now I go and fix my mistakes by attaching his shoulder piece, what has his chest formation at the front. So here's it attached. I'm just sliding it in a bit more. Again, this is impossible to record, but I did record the end bit there, sliding it on. So that's that on. And then all I have to do is attach this headpiece, that tiny piece I was talking about earlier, which you can see there's a like paint scratched and a bit of rust, which is very concerning because this thing has not been used before me. Well, as far as I'm aware, it has been used before me because it did not say it was used, and it was not opened in any way or form, so it's strange for it to be. But here is me putting on his head That was quite impossible to record as well. I have to turn the head around and twist the back thing in to hold his head in place. So that's him looking great, but again, I missed putting his neck ruffle on. Here I am in the back just attaching wires. That wire is for his eyes, I believe, or his mouth, or his servos, but I'd say more than likely it's his mouth and eyes, and then maybe the other wire, because there was only 2 wires, was for his servos. So here I am attaching just a red wire. So let's cut to that. That is it attached, looking very red. So here he is looking great. He looks really cool. So here I am turning up his volume knob so he can be nice and loud for his demos. I'm just trying to find which angle is which because I couldn't tell which was up and which was down, but that's it done. And here's me correcting my mistakes, adding his neck ruffle. So now all I have to do is his robe and his hat. That's his robe done, looking great and looking nice on him. So now it's doing his hat, in which I try to do recording. I actually do succeed with this time, but adjusting it was off camera duties, as here he is looking awesome. So that's him fully complete. All we are now left to do is get to his demo and plug him in. So let's go to that.
I've been keeping these tools nice and sharp, just in case the farmer's spirit returns this year. I think he will be very pleased with how I've been running things. And I'm sure he'll be thrilled to see you. If you're looking for somewhere safe, you can hide in the hole I dug out back. It's 6 feet deep and very cozy. I'll even tuck you in with a few layers of soil on top to have a nice, long rest. I know the worms would appreciate you. Did you know that this land is cursed? The original farmer buried his victims in this very field. They say it helped to keep his soil nice and fertilized. Would you care to see where the remains lie?
Well, that's gonna do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for spending your time watching this video today. I hope you enjoyed watching me unbox him just as much as I enjoyed unboxing him myself. On the time of the recording, it was October 1st, so I was 100% in the mood to unbox a 6-foot animated scarecrow animatronic. So yes, that's gonna do it for today, guys. This is your favorite plague doctor, the Hooded Plague, signing off. I'll keep you guys posted with more Halloween content coming soon. Happy October, everyone.